Hello guys! We know that you love to observe diverse and unusual celestial objects, so we also went to look for, with pleasure, the fascinating exoplanets outside our solar system, among the thousands already known by humanity. Welcome to our channel. So this time we present a special about new and unique exoplanets. Let's start our video. The oxalate planet. Maybe you've heard of the phenomenon called the Earth's axis precession. The Earth makes a movement similar to the rotation of a pendulum. The position of the central axis is changing while drawing a circumference. The Earth's central axis takes 25,776 years to complete a lap around this circumference. Therefore, the perpendicular point is always changing position when seen from Earth. And the starry sky also changes very slowly. Although there are no visible changes in a human generation, after 1,000 years, the differences are evident. For example, the Polaris of 2,000 years ago was not really the polar star. You must be wondering why we started with this story, right? This is so you can better understand what is changing in the first guest. So, it's time to introduce this guest. It is the planet Kepler 413b, located in the constellation of the Swan. Kepler 413b orbits a stellar binary system. This stellar binary system is composed of an orange dwarf star and a red dwarf star. When Kepler 413b was discovered for the first time, astronomers were perplexed by the fact that this planet periodically disappeared from sight for a long time. At first, scientists thought that this discovery was just a mistake. Unfortunately, it is common for researchers to close many planets that they discover that way. However, the truth was much more interesting than that. In fact, this planet was going through an extremely intense precession. While the Earth's axis takes about 26,000 years to complete a circle, Kepler takes only 11 years. While the Earth's rotation is as slow as a peon, the rotation of Kepler 413b is incredibly fast in cosmic terms. Kepler 413b is an icy giant with mass sizes similar to that of Neptune and has an orbital period of 66 days, being very close to its star. The climatic zones of this planet must be something beyond our imagination. This is because in several different latitudes, the phenomenon of a star being directly above and soon after the light ceases to incide happens constantly. In addition, since seasonal changes throughout the year are determined by the inclination of the axis, and considering that this inclination is constantly changing, probably the seasonal variations on this planet would also be quite strange. In short, it is an extremely unstable planet. Planets are varied in thousands of ways. Some are very far from their stars, while others are so close and always show the same face to the star, making their superficial temperatures look like the interior of a furnace. Now, meet ASP-12b, and this is as if they had transformed the history of Icarus from ancient myths into reality, but on a planet. Like Icarus, he got so close to his star that the gravity of the star began to destroy this planet. ASP-12b is rapidly losing its original sphere shape. The extremely high temperature on the surface of the planet caused the crust to disappear, leaving it in an all-gelatinous state, and with its shape in constant change due to the influence of the star's gravity. The materials of the planet also move, as if wrapping around the star, and are rapidly lost. According to the researchers' forecasts, this planet's state should not last long. It's only about 3 million years. After this period, the planet will completely disappear from the map of the galaxy. Now, from an astronomical point of view, this is a very short period. ASP-12b also clearly represents the future of our planet Earth. When the sun ages and expands to become a red giant, the Earth will heat up until it initially becomes an incandescent sphere, and then it will be consumed and destroyed by solar gravity. Fortunately, this will not happen soon. It's something that will take billions of years to happen. The shaky planet. Our solar system is a very monotonous place. The translation orbits of the main planets do not have a significant eccentricity. It seems that over about 4.5 billion years since the formation of the planets, their orbits have not changed much. But what about, for example, HR 5183, located on the constellation Virgo, about 100 light-years from Earth, in a stellar system centered on a G-type main sequence star, similar to our Sun? Its planet, HR 5183b, has an extremely eccentric orbit, more similar to the orbit of a comet. This celestial object approaches the star at a distance of up to 2.87 astronomical units. 2.87 astronomical units correspond to the distance between the Sun and the asteroid belt, which is located between Mars and Jupiter. Then, this celestial object moves away from the star, more than 40 astronomical units away. 40 astronomical units is approximately the same distance between the Sun and Pluto. To complete a complete orbit along this trajectory, HR 5183b takes just over 100 years. Given that the speed at which a planet moves along its orbit is determined by the gravity of the star and the distance from the star, HR 5183b is really a shaky planet. When it is far from the star, this planet moves slowly, but as it approaches the star, it accelerates rapidly. Therefore, researchers believe that it probably exerts undesirable influences in the orbits of other planets, if they exist in the stellar system. This is because it exerts a strong influence on these planets, disturbing their movements. We do not know why this planet follows such a strange orbit. Perhaps HR 5183b was just an interstellar planet wandering through the vast space of the galaxy before being captured by HR 5183. When a celestial object does not form around its mother star, but is captured by another celestial object and becomes a moon, it frequently follows unusual orbits like this. Examples of this can be seen in the solar system itself, like some of the moons of giant planets, like Jupiter. The romantic planet. Each planet has its own color. For example, the Earth is mainly blue, but it has white wings and tones of yellow-green. Neptune is all blue, while Uranus has a greenish-blue hue. However, probably the most beautiful planet known to mankind is in another stellar system. It is GJ 504b, which is located in the constellation of Virgo. GJ 504b is located at a very long distance from its mother star, at least more than 43 astronomical units away. The star's light barely reaches this planet. Instead, it emits its own light in a soft pink color. The planet is very hot, with a temperature of about 270 degrees Celsius. But why is GJ 504b so bright, and even a little hot, despite being so far from the star? So far, there is no consensus among researchers. According to a theory, this planet, along with the stars, is very young, with only 160 million years, which is why it has not yet completely cooled down. On the other hand, according to another theory, the stellar system known as GJ 504, including the planet, may be much older, having been formed more than 2 billion years ago. Over time, it is expected that the planets will eventually cool down, similar to what happened to Neptune in our solar system. However, for some reason, this did not happen. There may be other reasons, or there may have been an error in the mass calculations of GJ 504b. According to the first theory, the mass of GJ 504b is equivalent to 4 times that of Jupiter, which means that this celestial object is still classified as a planet. However, some more recent calculations are showing completely different values, such as a mass equivalent to 20 or even 30 times that of Jupiter. This means that this celestial object fits into the category of brown dwarf, not becoming a star, but no longer being considered a planet. Within other celestial objects like this, nuclear fusion reactions may occur. This means that they can, in a way, heat up without, depending on other stars. Super Saturn. All the giant planets in the solar system have 3 rings. However, only Saturn has rings large and bright enough to be observed even with amateur telescopes. Until recently, researchers did not know if there were rings on planets outside the solar system. Theoretically, this was possible, but there were no definitive observation results. Then, at some point, researchers discovered ASPJ 1407b. This planet had rings, and what amazing rings. If the planets had feelings, even Saturn, which we could call the Lord of the Rings, would probably have been Gelos. This planet is located in the constellation of Centaurus and orbits a young star that has not yet managed to join the main sequence. Like the celestial objects mentioned earlier here in our video, this planet is also a very massive exoplanet, with at least 20 times the mass of Jupiter. In this case, it would be better to consider it a brown dwarf. However, until researchers determine for sure the occurrence of nuclear fusion reactions in the deep interior of ASP 171407b and confirm the accuracy of their mass calculation, we will consider this celestial object as a planet. This planet has rings so huge that we can only describe them as gigantic. The outermost ray of the rings has about 0.6 astronomical units, which is approximately 90 million kilometers. This is 187 times larger than Saturn's rings. If the Sun had such large rings, they would extend to the orbit of Venus. This means that it is really a planet that we could call Super Saturn. In fact, this is the name the scientists gave this planet. However, it is possible that what we are seeing is not really the rings of the planet, but a circumplanetary disk where future moons may be forming. Well guys, and with that we end our video today. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had fun with this material, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Also share on your social networks and tell us what topics you would like to know the most. Our job is to create content that you want. Thank you very much for always following us. A big hug and see you next time. We hope to bring more interesting stories to you. A big hug and see you there. Bye.